It is yet another beautiful Friday evening. Thank you so much for your time. This evening, we have so much in store for you.
And we have long stories. Zinzi is looking tall today. Na nakwambia show inakuwa noma sana. Design ya noma. Hashtag to use is Youth Cafe. Follow me at Brian_Seli, at Zinzi_K, sorry. And of course, at KTN News. Nakwambia, there are a couple of stories that we have to start with. And definitely, this time around, nataka tuanze na ile story. Ndimbas Kuruka. Na iko Twitter, by the way.
Exactly. I'm sure if you're on Twitter, you've seen the hashtag Ifikie Wazazi. And if you haven't, parents, listen close. This is what is currently happening on Twitter, or should I say ever since yesterday. A lot of the conversation that is happening on Twitter is in regards to photography, and probably a few girls who are from university or high school. Now, the shots that is about to come right now on your screens, viewer discretion, but of course we've blurred it just a little bit to give you a hint of what's happening online. Now, the pictures are a bit, what do I call them? What should I say?
Graphic.
Graphic.
Some form of nudity. Watu wa squeeze wamedecide hivyo ndio watakuwa wanapiga picha. Na nakwambia angalia screen yako sahi. Some of the photos going on right now. Nakwambia hizi ni zenye zilikuwa ziko posted pale hashtag Ifikie Wazazi. This is what they've decided. Squeeze photographers ndio kusema. Photographer akisema utatoa nguo. That's what is happening.
The thing is, Asili, the people behind the hashtag Ifikie Wazazi are the Photographers Association of Kenya, because they feel like what this is doing, it is harming the creative industry, especially for those people who are professional photographers, and more so, this puts food on their table.
Na swali yangu ni, itafikia wazazi, because most of the parents are not on Twitter. Exactly. So we want to know how else wanaweza fikia wazazi. Hashtag Ifikie Wazazi, is it going to work for the parents? Because they want to make sure that they get to know what their kids are doing. Sunday squeeze in Nairobi ni watu wanaenda kuwatch CBD, mapicha, nini, kumbe hizi ndo imekuwa mkifanya.
Exactly.
By the way, kuna kadem kakona kitu ya kusema about his story.
Exactly. Have a look at what one of the girls had to say.
So, awa watu wakatambe kafikie pastor. So, ikifikia pastor kwani watafukuzwa church ama? Like your boys have very stupid aims though. If I decide to show off my body like it's mine, I will show it off till the day I die. And if you don't like it, die first.
Umesikia katambe sana mtu wangu.
So those are one of the videos that are making rounds on social media in regards after that hashtag has been trending since yesterday. As a parent, have you come across this? Have you talked to your child in regards to that? Even though they're not there, because if there's one thing that social media does, is that it really makes you feel a lot of pressure, all right? But we have James Kigonyo, who is the Vice Chairman of Photographers Association of Kenya. He joins us by way of phone. James, thank you so much for your time this evening here on Youth Cafe. Tell us, why is it so important for you guys as association to have done this hashtag?
So basically, photo shoots are not judged according to who has done them. The thought of a photo shoot is both for if it has been done by a professional or if it has been done by an amateur. So when the government and the security agencies respond to complaints from parents, we will find that even professional photographers will be able to suffer from the same. Hence, that's why we thought that we should get into the conversation simply to clean the name of professional photographers. Okay,
James, mimi nataka tu kujua kitu moja. Hii complaint inakuja as a result of ni compare kwa biashara ama ni outcry tu mnaona that nudity is also now becoming one of the biggest issue when it comes to photography in Kenya?
I don't think those kind of photos are a problem to the business, because professional people have very decent work against those photos that have been posted. I just think that it's important as a professional association to be part of the conversation so that parents do not think that children who are interested in photography will take such kind of photos. As well, there are so many events that include teens that parents will obviously need to give their consent before teens go to those events. But if parents see those kind of photos, they will not be comfortable to let their children go to such events. So it will affect the industry as a whole professionally. So that is why we thought to come in as an association.
James, have you gotten any feedback from parents and more so the government after this hashtag went viral?
We are still contacting the government, but we've gotten a few concerns from parents who are very worried and they are wondering, is this also what professional photographers do when they invite people for shoots in their studios? Are these the kind of habits that go on in the industry, or is it just about the team? So I think parents are very, very concerned. I've gotten several calls and several complaints, and that's why we felt as an association to just address that.
James, for your time. James Gikonyo, who is the vice chairman for the Photographers Association of Kenya, they are giving his views in regards to that hashtag that has been trending, Ifikia Wazazi, in regards to the nude photos, more so, that have been surfacing online. But away from that, it is what is basing our conversation this evening later on, and it's our education system, more so universities. Within public universities, we know that today marks the 44th day that lecturers are on strike. Now, despite the fact that Amina Mohammed, Cabinet Secretary of Education, has appeared before MPs this week for grilling, they are saying that now the government wants to go into talks with them in regards to their CBA for 2017-2021. In regards to that, this is what Amina had to say.
There is an exercise that's ongoing of recruiting teachers for Wajir. We agreed that we would actually get curriculum assistants, 1,200, if I recall the number, and that the ministry would actually pay for them for the next 2 months, so that we can just bridge, the gap that exists currently. But obviously, since there's an advertisement that went out, and my understanding is that, in fact, more teachers than those that are needed have applied. And so the TSC will obviously go through that process. The advice that we've given is that for the teachers that are going to Wajir, since the hardship period to stay in a hardship area is 3 years, that those teachers should be requested to stay there for the 3 years, and that if they left, we don't have another exercise of full recruitment, but we actually declare vacancies and recruit, just for the ones that will have left. I think that would be a way of encouraging them to actually stay.
There's a big complaint because it's 40 days na strike bado inaendelea.
About 44 now, can you imagine?
44 days, super crazy, and I don't know tutapata wapi hizi solutions because I think people are missing Matiang'i. Are you missing Matiang'i?
Well, I wouldn't know, but...
Because Matiang'i says he misses the ministry.
His docket.
Definitely.
Well, apart from that, Asili, public universities are facing one issue, but in regards to private universities, one of Kenya's biggest private universities, Daystar University, had to shut down their premises yesterday after a long-standing disagreement between student leaders and, of course, with the university management, rather. And
definitely, there are so many issues that they're looking at. And right now, they have an acting VC. He's called Mr. Kombo, and Professor Kombo, actually. And na kuna vitu kibao sana wase wamekuwa complain about story na facilities, story na education system, mismanagement of funds and stuff like that. Now, the big question, by then, na sijui kama mtaipata hii ni exclusive, kuna report ilikuwa inafanywa. So the report, it was an audit that was being done to make sure that they focus on different things. So on that day yenye audit ilikuwa inafaa kureleasiwa, hawa se waliambiwa kidogo ita delay, and I think the audit has more information that we can chew. Definitely ona kile Professor Kombo alikuwa nayo kusema.
This matter had its genesis in November last year. In November last year, the students raised several issues with the university. The issues that were raised were mainly of the nature of administration, but a number of them also touched on matters academic. The administration matters were things like how are the hostels, things like how are the sports fields. There were things like, is there water, insufficient water at that? Do we have sufficient equipment? And such like things. The academic area had issues such as review of programs, issues such as who teaches and who teaches what, and those types of issues.
So an exclusive conversation is going to happen right here in Youth Cafe when we come back from our first break. And that's in regards, you get to hear from the voices of students themselves from both public and private universities. But before we do that, drama festivals.
Drama festivals. This year marks the 59th edition of the Kenya National Drama Festival. Ever since it started, there have been a couple of activities going on. Wanakungana categories kibao. We have the cultural dances. We have, of course, the plays. We have solo verses. And of course, kuna pia modern dance, which was introduced last year. And it's super amazing to announce that the winners were doing a great job. Today, they actually had a chance to perform for the president.
I saw that, the First Lady.
I was supposed to go there, but kazi kanishika kidogo. But then, I want to tell you who the winners were. In the play category, Senator Cleophas Malala dominated, whereby he actually scooped play number 1, that is Kakamega High School, ilikuwa The Burden. And of course, Butere Girls was number 2. Number 3 was Karima Girls. Number 4 was also by Cleophas Malala. Swahili play called Petro.
Himself.
Yeah, he's the senator of Kakamega. And of course, kuna cultural dance, Bungoma High School took it home. Now, of course, Matuga all the way from Coast took it home as well. Choral verses, nakwambia Moi Girls Nairobi, yo ilibaki hapa hivi kwa Nairobi County. Orio Girls, Wanyanza pia walikuwa position number 2, and it was such an amazing notice that kulikuwa na narratives kutoka Koyonzo, alafu kukakuwa na St. Mary's, ilikuwa number 2. Modern dance, ilikuwa the new category, na nakwambia it's such pomp and color. Guys went all the way. But then, the good thing is that the handshake was being discussed. National dialogue was the biggest theme of the festival. And definitely, I'd like you guys to watch some of the snippets of what was going down. Definitely a cultural, modern dance. Cheki mbulu yako nishukai. Zinzi nakwambia hapo hivyo kitu walikosa tu ni odi. Yani nakwambia odi.
Did you participate in drama?
Because you know what? That is where all the stars are made.
Oh my goodness, that explains
Yeah, definitely.
it.
I'm not bragging, Nasema tu. We are supposed to go for a short break, and when we come back, it's going to be serious matters affecting the universities. It's not an easy thing. Wasa wameka shule 44 days away. And of course, wengine wame decide take it to the streets to make sure that their voices are heard. And that's why we want you to join this conversation. We're going to go for a short break. Lakini tukirudi, we're going to be talking to some of the students when you're make sure that we get to understand